Oh, I have to push the button. Hello, Lindsay. Hello, good morning, YouTube, and good morning, TikTok. You're watching Live with LWL Lindsay with Love, and today is Tuesday, April 8th, 2025. You guys, if you are new to me, hi, welcome. I'm here to raise the frequency of the planet, and I'm doing that by reminding you how powerful you are every single day. You are an energetic spiritual being, and you came here to create your best reality, and typically that involves you releasing limiting beliefs and reprogramming your subconscious mind so you can actually succeed at life, and I'm here to help you do that. So welcome to the show. Oh my gosh, what a morning. Okay, let's take a deep breath in through the nose, belly nice and full, letting it go. All right. Yeah, breathing always comes after the introduction, but thank you for the reminder, VIP Catherine. Zuzi, welcome to the chat, and thank you for the follow. Okay, so VIP Deborah is in the house. Good morning, VIP Deborah. Good morning, Sarah. Welcome to the show. Before we get into the show, today we're going to finish the Bob Proctor conversation from yesterday. I'll give you a little bit of a recap. I wanted to share with you something that I did. It involves my YouTube journey. As you guys know, I'm working with a coach. And yesterday, he sent me a note, and he was like, an email. Oh gosh, should I just become old? I think old people say somebody sent them a note versus email, and I noticed that about people that I always felt were like older than me, but now I just said it, so shoot. I don't know, you guys, my man is rubbing off on me. I'm saying all his weird phrases. Anyway, he sent me an email. I was like, hey, could you give me some guidance on the editing portion of this video? And he was like, yes, this is what you need to do. And what he told me I should do, instant, like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do that. I have no idea what to fill these spaces with. Like, I started kind of like internally freaking out, and I could feel myself all day kind of in this kind of, you know, when the first time you're doing something new, that feeling, and it lasted all day long, because I really want to do this right. I don't want to have to do it a billion times. But I also recognize that it's my first go around with this strategy and this idea. So I have to give myself some patience. So in Lindsay fashion, I was like, well, let's get it done. And I think I kind of lost sight of like what I was really, really doing. And I did it. But when I clicked the submit button to him, I was just like, oh, like this feels opposite of the energy I'm trying to put out. Feels opposite. There's a lot going on. It feels disconnected. It feels almost like forced in a sense, creatively forced. And I was like, I just don't like it. It feels very juvenile. It feels very childish. I do not like it. And I woke up this morning and I was like, Lindsay, like what were you, literally what were you thinking yesterday? All of a sudden I had this clarity come into my brain, and I was like, oh, like I could have added this, I could created this, I could have added that there. Now I still feel like for the amount of time that the video is, 20 minutes, and the amount of transitions and stuff, it still feels overwhelming. It still feels that way for me. Now, once again, it's new. It feels overwhelming because it is new, and I have no idea at this moment what I'm doing yet, because I'm learning it. Right? And so I wrote to my coach this morning, and I was like, in my overthinking / wanting to do everything to exactly what you said, I think I lost sight of like what I was actually doing, and I'm already cringing at myself. So I'm not going to make any edits to the video I submitted to you because I want your feedback, and I know he watched it because it's unlisted and there's one view, which means he watched it. Right? And so I messaged him, and I was like, this is what I'm thinking. So yeah, I will wait for your response. So the moral of the story, when you're learning something freaking brand new, I think my new life motto, as much as it feels so, I still feel right now just like a sense of embarrassment for myself. That's how I feel right now. And it's not a negative embarrassment. I'm clearly like, it's funny, but also I'm like, Lindsay, like literally what were you thinking, right? So as I'm making my coffee this morning, my eye is so watery, you guys, so sorry if I keep pressing at it. As I was making my coffee in my spirulina this morning, I thought to myself, the quicker, Lindsay, that you can reach level cringe, level cringe, the quicker that you can get to cringe, the quicker you are on your way to success. Because until you hit cringe, I don't know if there's any clarity, and you've got to have the clarity. And how are you going to get the clarity if you're not a little cringe, right? So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Cosmic Collective members, I will keep you guys posted inside of the Discord today with what happens and what he says. I am just like, oh my gosh. What was I thinking? Yesterday was a challenging day in the sky with Venus conjunct Saturn. The energy's still there. It's still a little fuzzy, right? Creatively, Venus brings creativity. So it makes sense. I was trying to be Saturn, regimented. Thank you for the gifts and the heart me's, you guys. I'm going to catch up with the comments in 1 second. I was trying to be regimented Saturn, listening to his rules and his guidance and his instructions, but also using my creativity. And they were not friends. It did not go well. Let's see what happens, you guys. Let's see what happens. The quicker you can get to cringe, the sooner you can get to clarity. The sooner you can get to clarity, you're tapped into your flow state, and now you're on your way to success, right? So I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with that energy and see what happens. You guys, thank you for all of the heart me's. Lisa's in the house. Good morning, VIP Erin. I saw you say hello. Good morning. Thank you, VIP Deborah, for the roses and the gifts, for the mic drop. Oh my goodness, you guys. Thank you for the heart me, Lisa. Erin, VIP Erin says, it's so funny how opposite my problem is. I'm used to 45 to 90 minutes of talking. Well, it's interesting because getting good on TikTok requires quick hooks. It requires a lot of quick changes because TikTok attention span is very short. You scroll really fast. 2 to 3 seconds is all you've got. Being good on YouTube in long form content requires it requires a good hook. It requires a good story, but it's a totally different space. And I'm so programmed to be good on TikTok that then I've been trying to be slower, more excited, like whatever. I don't know, you guys. I don't even know what I was trying to do. All I know is I watch it back and I'm like, I feel like I'm talking at turtle speed and this is cringe. Cringe to clarity, my friends. That's my new life motto. The faster you quick cringe. That in Cosmic Collective, you guys, I'm going to start asking you, are you in go quick cringe. What's the quickest thing you can do to be cringy right now? 5, 4, 3, 2, go. What is it? And you know what it is. Some of you know what it is. It's hitting that post button. It's launching, maybe not launching. Maybe you don't want a quick cringe launch, but at least quick cringe, start collecting data, right? Now, for this being my first video in this format, I'm okay with being cringy, and I'm only going to get better. I'm only going to get better. However, I will absolutely make the adjustments because the energy that is in that video now is not the energy that I hope to exude as somebody who knows astrology and actually is using it to transform people's lives. And so the disconnect is very serious for me. It's important. And so I'm sure he's going to be like, yeah, Lindsay, like, what is this? Sorry, Robert, if you're listening. Thanks for your help, buddy. Okay. Let's keep going. VIP Erin says, it's such a good lesson if you can remember that feeling next time. Good morning, VIP Jules. Yeah, it is. Oh my gosh. Thank you for making me a cringy cowboy, VIP Erin. I appreciate that. Oh my gosh. VIP Jules says, yep, that's why I did not put YouTube on my 6-month plan. Yeah, it's a whole different beast. VIP Erin says, well, my children say I'm cringe 24/7, so apparently I don't have to try. Aw. Listen, VIP Erin, you're not cringe. You're super cool to me. So whatever to your children. Or winning, depending on who you talk to. This is the gap I talk about, VIP Sarah says. Oh, Sarah says, okay, Sarah. Gara, what? Sarah, expand for me in the comments on YouTube. We'll talk it out. Okay, so that's my story, you guys. Super cringe moment for Lindsay. But you know what? It's beautiful. Like, that's what a coach is for, to say, you know, I think you could do a bit better. I don't know what he's going to say. Maybe he's like, this is great, good job. And I'll be like, oh my gosh. But you know what? He's the expert. I'm trying to follow what he says. doing the best I can. And by the way, thank you for lighting up my gift gallery, VIP Erin, with all the hand hearts. The last thing I'll say on this is that he is an expert. He has almost 1 million YouTube subscribers. And his whole channel is about helping people grow on their social media platforms. So I know he's an expert, right? So I do want to listen to all of his guidance. And I think sometimes maybe I overindulge in that listening. It's like, okay, like, you know, tap back into the creative part, but also follow the guidance. It's hard when you're a very intuitive person. I don't want to say it's hard, but following very, like, I've always had like a little bit of a struggle with like specific, very specific, like launch plans, coaching, this. It's like, this is the formula. It's like, yes, but my energy is saying this is the formula, right? So I think there's a little bit of science, there's a little bit of intuition. If we could bring them together, Sarah, I think just like you were talking about yesterday, maybe that's exactly what you're saying. And yeah, I know I feel the same way sometimes, so don't stress. Thank you, VIP Aaron, for lighting up my gift gallery. I appreciate it. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Yesterday we were talking about Proctor. We were talking about Grandpa Bob. He was talking to us about how he needs to learn himself. This is an interview I found from I don't even know when. It seems like it must have been in like the 90s, 80s is my guess, because he references somebody from the 60s, and he made it kind of seem like it was years ago. So I don't know, you guys. I don't know when it's from. All I know is it looks old. It looks from the past, maybe the 80s, maybe the 90s. Anyway, he says that anybody can win, assuming we think for ourselves. This is kind of where we left off yesterday. Instead of following everyone else, we have to ask questions like, is there a better way to do it? Do these people know what they're doing? Has this person achieved what I desire? I realized very quickly through my kind of the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey that some people know what they're doing and some people are like faking the funk, or maybe they got like lucky and they got a good break and they did somehow make millions, but they never were able to recreate that. I don't know if you can teach people luck. You can teach people energy, right? Which taps them in and connects them into their infinite wisdom. But be mindful of who you are listening to when it comes to anything. Really anything. Like, okay, for example, you want to become the best basketball player. Are you going to hire Michael Jordan as your coach? Or are you going to hire your brother who played 6th grade basketball? I mean, take your pick, right? So that can be like a very extreme example. He says that he wanted to learn about himself so that he could really understand his energy and how to simultaneously work with his spiritual body, his intellect, and his physical body. He says that when we don't understand who we are, we're completely locked into the physical world, and then we're reacting to our lives rather than creating it, right? So, I'm still cracking up at myself. Our only barriers to success are the conditioning, which is what takes place in our subconscious mind. That's the barrier within, and our environment. We tend to act like the people we surround ourselves with, which is the external reality, the barrier outside of us, right? So he says there are some steps to achieving your goals, to transcending into a new reality, and they're very simple steps. We've already talked about this the last time we talked about Grandpa Bob. He says we need a goal, we need to have the right attitude, and we need to work on our self-image. Goal, attitude, self-image. So we'll kind of work through those things today. He says, step 1, write down your goals. Write it on a piece of paper. He says, put it in your pocket. Every time your finger touches that paper, it lights up the central nervous system, sends an image to your brain. Your brain thinks about it, and now it's a mental image in your mind. Your images in your mind create your reality, right? It's like a copy paste. So that's something that's easy to do. He says, read it often. He says, if a thought comes in to your mind that rejects your goal, when you see your goal, when you're thinking about it, when you touch the card, when you see it on your vision board that sits on your desk, and if your thought rejects it, if your mind rejects it, you have the ability to kick that thought out of your mind. And you've got to kick that thought out of your mind if you want to be the master manifester, master creator of your reality. If a thought comes in that rejects your goal, in other words, Lindsay, I am going to be a monetized YouTube creator. That is one of my goals. Why? Because I'm already doing YouTube, so I might as well get money for it. I don't see the point in it I want to share my thoughts and all those things, but I'm already doing it. So if I'm already doing something that can receive money, then I might as well collect my money, right? That's the way I think, anyway. So if I say I'm going to be a monetized YouTuber in the next, hopefully, 6 months, let's see what Robert says. No, of course he doesn't dictate whether I monetize, but he will help me get there, right? He will. And say that's my goal. And some days, like yesterday, the thought comes in and is like, I can't do this. I don't know how to do this. My job, the second that thought comes in and starts rejecting my goal, is to say, get out of here. Get out of here. It's not, I can't do this. It's how am I going to do this? How am I going to get there? I'm here, not monetized. not creating the best YouTube videos. I want to be here, monetize. Not only monetize, but I want to be creating really good content. I want to be seen for my creativity and that it is powerful and it's impactful and it's transformative and it's entertaining and it's perhaps thought-provoking and it holds your attention and all those nice things, right? So 50%, 100%. Half-assed, why am I doing it? Even though I'm doing it, doing the damn thing, getting better every single time. Now, the video I gave him yesterday, although yesterday it was my 100% best, today I would call it probably my 75% best. The editing, I think, is good. All of the added stuff is cringy. Okay? So it can be 100% today, and because tomorrow, today, yesterday was yesterday. Today, I have more knowledge. I've gained a skill. Truly, I did. I learned so many new things yesterday in editing that video. I was thinking quickly. I was learning how to do overlays. I was learning how to do different transitions and all of these cool things with my video editing. So I thought that was pretty cool. Now, is it still cringy? Yeah, I still think it's cringy. So I would give it now a 75%. So today I can do some edits, make it a little bit better. Today I will give 100%, and maybe tomorrow it will be at like, I don't know, 85. That would be nice, right? Who knows? Who knows? But the point is, you've got to continue to get better, and you've got to, if in order to do that, reject the ideas of I can't do this and turn it into how am I going to do this? How am I going to get better? I can't do this turns into how am I going to do this, okay? He says, keep thinking of thoughts of ways you can reach your goal. Okay, yeah, I just said that. Rather than the reasons you can't. Your mind will give you ideas. So if you keep thinking, I wonder how I'll be able to do this. I don't think like I wonder when I'll be monetized. I know I'll be monetized. I'm wondering how can I go faster toward monetization? How can I become better at not only being on a camera, editing my videos, holding the audience's attention, but how can I be better at what I'm saying, the scripts I'm writing for the astrology for the month. And by the way, if I could redo the whole video today and resubmit the whole thing, and maybe I will, let's see what he says, I would. Because the whole script would change. Everything would change. I wouldn't even do it the same way anymore. Just in one night. But the difference between this morning and yesterday is I took action yesterday, and by taking action, I was able to see it come to life in the tangible form. And because it's in the tangible form now, I can see it at a different perspective. I can see it for really what it is. And now I have a clarity of mind to say, okay, these are the tweaks I would make. So taking action is very important, you guys, when it comes toward anything, especially reaching your goals. He says, select somebody who's already doing what you want for advice. This is my friend Robert. He says, ask experts, not random people, because they don't know. It's so simple. Ask experts, not random people, because they do not know. They do not know. Negative IQ, welcome to the chat. Thank you for the follow. Brenda, thank you for the rose. I was thinking yesterday, I shared this with my Cosmic Collective members, and I don't know if I shared this live. I must not have, because it was already in the daytime. Yesterday, after I got off of TikTok Live, I went to work on this video. This was my whole day, you guys, the whole day from 10 until 5:30 at night. Actually later, because it was like uploading for quite some time. So it was like around 7 when I finally sent the email to him saying it's uploaded. And about halfway through the day, I just got up. I was so just like worked up in my body, and I'm not an anxious person. I've never suffered from anxiety, thank goodness. You know, I can stay rather grounded in my energy. I know my energy. That's the power of knowing your energy. And yesterday I was riled up. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like my brain was just going kind of monkey brain, and I was just like sitting there kind of staring, and I'm like, Lindsay. So I got up. I was like, I know that one way to release energy is to move the body. So I got up and I started kind of taking steps around my apartment, and I started folding the laundry. And while I was folding the laundry, I started having a conversation with myself. And sorry, Cosmic Collective members, this is a repeat story, but I think it's important to understand. I started talking to myself, and I said to myself, Lindsay, are you procrastinating right now? Is this your body's way of putting up some armor against something that feels very uncomfortable for you? Are you procrastinating? Is this fear masking itself as procrastination in the form of folding laundry. By the way, I really enjoy folding my laundry. I know it's kind of a weird thing, but it calms me. It's just like some kind of automatic thing I do, and it doesn't bother me. Hanging up clothes is another story. Can't stand hanging up clothes. Anyway, I do it though, okay? I have a nice organized closet. So I went, VIP Jewels, I was done with screens. That was last night. That was way at the end of the day. That was at the end of the day. So I'm folding the laundry halfway through the day, and I'm like, is this procrastination? And then I said, no, this is not procrastination. This is a way of me calming my nervous system down. I know that I'm going to finish editing this video tonight. I know I am. In fact, I've like given this my goal, and like this is my day. So it's not, I know I'm still going to succeed, but I also recognize that I'm so in my own head right now that nothing is coming out. Nothing worthwhile anyway. And then now I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so cringy that I want to like erase the whole thing. Okay, so allow yourself to learn your energy and honor your energy so that you know in those moments that you can kind of reset, right? Reset. He says you can study a good book. Bob Proctor says study a good book to learn more about who you are, to understand your mind better. He says that his two favorite books, by the way, are Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, and The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. Read it a million times. I've read it a couple of times. I'll probably start reading it again soon. And then he also says The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, Dr. Joseph Murphy. This was something super cool that he said I've never heard anybody say or articulated in this way. So maybe you want to open your ears, and maybe you want to feel your feelings. Listen with your feelings. He says the value of rereading a good book. He says it's not that you see something within it a second time in this good book. You don't see something within the book a second time. You see something within yourself a second time. Okay, I'll take that. So he kind of talks, I mean, he jokes often about Think and Grow Rich is, DTM, welcome to the chat. Thanks for being here. DTM, sorry, he says, Think and Grow Rich, he kind of jokes as like his Bible, but now I see why. Because every time he reads it, he steps into another level of transcendence, a greater level of empowerment, a greater understanding, so he can teach better and all these beautiful things. VIP Aaron says, I could stand to reread that too many, many moons ago. Yeah, I'm rereading it. I reread it on my way to California and back last time I went, so it was just recently, but I'm going to reread it again. Jesse said, Jesse, welcome to the chat. Thank you for the follow. So many books I keep reading popping up as people's subject lines. Guess I should reread them. It's a nice synchronicity or confirmation for sure. Okay, for sure. Yeah, VIP Jules, I went to bed last night after our show. When I was talking, I said I was done with screens. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're referring to. My editing was in the afternoon. It was all day. That's why I was done with screens, because I was on my phone editing for like 4 hours yesterday. Yeah. VIP Catherine says, I was told if I could understand it, that it's all about changing your mind about money. Yeah, well, yes and no. Yes, of course. But at the end of the day, he's explaining to you around empowerment. He's explaining to you about how to use the mind, and he's explaining worthiness. So once again, I think it all boils down to worthiness. How worthy do you feel you are? Money does not equal your value. By the way, you're valuable because you're here on this earth. But if you want to have a shit ton of money and you don't, I would ask yourself about your worthiness. And what do you believe about money? The individual says, oh, I can't that Stefan did more. Oh, no. I just had a moment of clarity this morning and I emailed him about it. And by the way, you guys, I'm really close to finishing my course all about limiting beliefs around money. But you know, things have just I've been going with the flow, and things have kind of gone on a different turn of events, but it's right there. And so I will be launching a course. I don't think I'll launch it when I said I will. I was hoping to launch it around the 17th, 18th of this month, but questionable if it's going to get there at that point. Let's see. I have some other things that I'm doing right now. So let's see, but I do have a really powerful course that I've created around releasing limiting beliefs, specifically around money, because limiting beliefs around money suck. You're in this matrix, you're in this reality, there's no escaping the matrix. It takes an entire collective, And by the way, I'm part of that collective. I'm happy to barter with people. I'm happy to create a system where we're all in our greatest empowerment, sharing our greatest skills with each other, so money doesn't even need to exist. But will that happen in this Lindsay's lifetime? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Like, it's so hard to say. If I live to like 120, maybe, I don't know. So I'm kind of the type of person where I'm going to promote the vibes. I'm going to stay in my highest frequency. I'm going to learn how to use energy, but I'm also going to use that knowledge to collect my abundance in. And there's no shame in that game, by the way. There's no shame in that game. Go collect your abundance so you can have fun experiences and you can learn more things and you can share that energy with others, right? Isn't that kind of the point? Jesse says, the book I read was Stop Surviving, Start Thriving by Kim Robertson. Oh, how interesting. And here I have Taking You from Surviving to Thriving. VIP Catherine says, I say yes because I'm living until I'm at least 108. Right, but okay. So will we have enough people in the collective? And by the way, you could probably exist without money now, depending on the community you live in, right? I'm sure there are plenty of communities in this world somewhere. I don't know where they are. I don't live in one. But you could form a community of people. And it's like kind of like homesteading vibes, but like a bunch of people. So one person's the farmer and one person makes the bread. One person is teaching the kids. Thank you for that star. One person is, doing the astrology, and one person's doing the energy healing, and one person's doing, and you're all just trading services. That could exist, right? Bartering back in the day, that's what we used to do. Money it just became something to replace bartering so we could exchange quicker and across vaster lands. That's it, right? There's nothing bad about it. It just is. It just is. Quick reminder to Manifesting Club members. Manifesting Club members, we're manifesting this Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jesse says, there are a couple of women on here that are actually trying to get a little farm village together. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of people that are desiring to do that. I still think there might be requirements for money though. I don't know. I think like when I go to people that are kind of living a more like to the earth lifestyle, more natural, I think like Amish maybe and all that, like that type of culture. But by the way, I grew up in a country or in a city, a little town with Amish people all around us, and they still sold their goods to our stores for money. They have farmers markets where they collect my money in exchange for their vegetables. So, I don't know. VIP Aaron says, I can't see going back to where it isn't needed, maybe less dependent on it, but not done. Exactly. So I'm in the reality and I'm just accepting that this is what it is. For a long time, you guys, I was repulsed by money. I had very strong issues around money. And I've accepted that here I am in this reality. And by the way, I'm really good at doing what I do. So damn it, I want to get paid. I do. That's okay. Allow it. They sell furniture too. Yep, of course. Land taxes, exactly, Jessie May. Yes, you're always going to need it somehow. Yes, that's why my sisters and I always say we need to build a family compound. VIP Jules, my sister and I say that too. And then I was like, it's just going to be the four of us and her kid and our dogs. I was like, oh, it still could be fun. I think eventually we'll have land that has a home that's big enough for everybody. If we all just want to come, it's kind of like come and go as you please. My partner and I think about that a lot, like getting land, building a big house where anyone can kind of just, it's like, if you want to come vacation, if you want to just get away, if you want to come do a family thing, whatever. They sell furniture too. Yep, VIP Jules, exactly. And for real, I'm finally in a good relationship with it. Exactly, VIP Aaron, exactly. So let it be what it is. I used to think, oh, I'm going to escape the matrix. No, I'm actually not. I'm actually not. Instead, I'm going to be a little bit, work smarter, not harder. And I'm going to learn how to play the game inside. There's no escaping it. You're going to escape it when you transition, of course. But it's all energetically connected anyway. And by the way, you were excited to come to this lifetime. So you might as well embrace it. Like your soul wanted to come here for some reason. Now, whether you think that's crazy or not, I don't know. But hey, that's what they say. All right, let's keep going. VIP Jewel says we need to have a big compound. There's lots of kids, sisters and kids. Oh my goodness. Go on, my friend. So he says, study a good book. Once again, he says, 2 books, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, Dr. Joseph Murphy, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. I just started reading Dr. Joseph Murphy this morning. By the way, you guys, when you're listening to something or you're reading a book that talks about other books, when you're reading a book from an expert, and that expert discusses other books, go buy that other book. Get it on Kindle, write it on your reading list. It is important. If the expert is talking about a book that made them the expert, that book is very important. As soon as he said that in his podcast, I bought it into my Kindle. Right away, boom. I didn't waste a second. I pushed pause on the YouTube video, grabbed my Kindle, downloaded the book. So that's a really important lesson, I think. He says, from Think and Grow Rich. So I better talk fast, you guys. He says, there is a part in the book that says this. It's a quote. He says, by the way, from Napoleon Hill. The missing link in all systems of education known to civilization today may be found in the failure of educational institutions to teach students how to organize and use knowledge after they acquire it. How to organize and use knowledge after they acquire it. We should understand the real meaning of the word educate. It comes from the word educo, meaning to induce, draw out, or develop from within. So this is really brilliant, you guys, especially if you are somebody who grapples with how educated you are, okay? So this is a conversation here. He says an educated person is not necessarily one who has an abundance of general or specialized knowledge, but one who has developed the faculties of their mind that they may acquire anything they want or its equivalent without violating the rights of others. They know how to go out and get what they want out of life without being selfish. They know how to get what they want out of life without being selfish. So he says that we need to always be involved in researching ourselves, in learning new things, because we have infinite intelligence and wisdom inside of us. And we've got to find a way to get that out. And by learning and following our curiosities and growing, that's how we expand out our infinite intelligence and wisdom. Okay? So I remember one time I was in a course a while ago, and there was a lady, and she was like an expert, but she could never, for whatever reason, she had a really hard time getting paid for her expertise. And she was very frustrated. I'm talking every call for 13 weeks crying, frustrated. And when I read this, I instantly thought of that lady. She has the knowledge, but can she organize and use it after she acquires it to get what she wants? Can you organize your knowledge to get what you want? It's pretty simple, right? It's pretty simple. So it's interesting because like I hired the YouTube coach. I've been watching his YouTube videos, by the way, for like 3 months. He's like, you got to do this, and you got to do this, and then you got to do this. And all the videos are about 10 minutes of this, and this, and this. And I'm like, yeah. And then I buy the course because I'm thinking like, okay, I get it, but something's still not really registering for me. I buy the course, and it's like, okay, here's all the things nice and together. He's packaged it. The videos are little blips here, little blips there, little blips there. The course is the package. This is all encompassing. He has taken his knowledge, he uses pieces of it to promote and market his skills, to bring in followers, subscribers, and clients. And then to the clients that pay him, he has organized his knowledge in a way that will help somebody. And he collects his abundance in. So learning how to organize and use the knowledge after they acquire it. That's why I say it's really important when you learn something, implement it right away. Learn, implement. That's how you're going to expand exponential. That's how it's going to go. Rather than is what I'm trying to say, rather than acquire all this knowledge, my brain is full of things. For what? Right? For mental exhaustion? I don't know. So learning, implementing is my strategy, and it's worked for me pretty well so far. And I think that's how I'll keep going. By the way, you guys, I got an email from my coach. You want to see what it says? Oh my gosh. He says, pacing and cadence of the video looks great in capital letters. Really nice job as a whole. You guys! Okay, I'm not going to read the rest of it live, but oh my gosh, that's wild to me. Okay, Bob Proctor says, if we use our bodies like we use our minds, we would only be using our pinky finger. He says, that's how vast our minds are, and most people have not tapped in. That's okay, you're not most people. You're brilliant. You're here. You're hanging out with me. I'm self-proclaimed brilliant. I tell myself at least a couple of times a day that I am brilliant. Truly, I do. Lindsay, you're so brilliant. You figured it out. I know, you guys, that is so funny. VIP Deborah says, that's what you do, Lindsay. You do that, make courses for us with all your knowledge. Thank you for that. Yeah, I do my best. Thank you for that, VIP Deborah. That's a super sweet compliment. Oh my gosh, you guys crack me up. Live reaction, I know that, you guys. There's more words, he's giving me more guidance, but he didn't even say change anything. I think I'm gonna change. He said the cadence looks great, but I think I'm gonna change out some photos. Okay, I feel better now. Whew. You know, I was an A student my whole life, so I feel like I'm back in school, but I haven't been tested from like somebody else for a long time. So that's how it's like, oh. Okay, he says, Bob says we aren't taught to use our minds. He says we should have little kids visualize their grades each year before they even go into school. Before the first day of school, everybody goes to like orientation and they sit down together and they think about math, A+, science, A+, biology, A+, maybe science and biology are the same, I don't know, whatever, A+, right? Visualize your report card. And the interviewer says, well, isn't that just fantasy? Isn't it just fantasy? You're having little kids pretend, it's imagination, it's fantasy. And Bob says, no. Fantasy is where all greatness comes from. Fantasy is where all greatness comes from. He says, Edison was fantasizing about the light bulb. He kept fantasizing and fantasizing until it was a theory. And then the theory, and he kept thinking about it, and it became an image. And then because he kept thinking about the image became a fact. Copied from the thoughts, pasted into reality. Okay? And he says that, let's see. He says attitude is super important for success. You guys, VIP Aaron, how long can you stay on this live for today? Because if you got to go at 10 o'clock precisely on the dot, then I want to go to the energetic wave. I have something special for you today. So could you let me know? Can you stay a little bit over? And if not, we'll end the call right now. We'll get to manifesting. Beck says, that's awesome. You guys are so sweet. To me, VIP Catherine says, same. I tell myself all the time, I'm one smart cookie. Yes, you are. VIP Aaron, where are you? Are your fingers free? Can you help me? If you can stay, I want to get on the energetic wave with you. Special just for you today. Bob Proctor says, attitude is super important for your success. You need to have a winning attitude. He told the interviewer says, well, can you explain to us how to do this, right? Good question, interviewer. And Bob Proctor said this, you guys, this is wild to me. This is how I know at that moment, Bob was still programming his reality. He was already being interviewed as an expert, but he was still programming his reality. This is how I know. He says he would need a whiteboard. She's in the shower. I know she probably is in the shower. She's probably like, dang it. She's probably like got suds all in her hair or something. And she's like, I can't type right now. VIP Aaron, don't stress. Just take your time, okay? So Bob says this. He says, I would need a whiteboard in 3 hours to explain to you and teach you how to have a winning attitude. That's what he told the interviewer, right? Then very subtly he says, so to do it here in 3 minutes, I can't do it. I haven't learned it yet. You guys, I caught Bob Proctor, the Grandpa Bob, RIP. Thank you for your service, Grandpa Bob, for teaching us your brilliancy, for being brave enough to share your wisdom with us. He said, to do it here in 3 minutes, I can't do it. I haven't learned how yet. I can't do it. And you can tell he was working on his reprogramming because it was so fast and it was so subtle. I haven't learned how yet. He went from I can't do it to I haven't learned how yet. I can't do it to I haven't learned how yet. I haven't learned how yet. Implying I will do it. I will be able to explain it to you without a whiteboard, without 3 hours. I can at some point in my life be so articulate and so good at sharing this knowledge that I could share it with you in 3 minutes on a radio show. But not yet. I haven't learned how yet. Okay? Haha, I'm good. I just stepped out of the shower with wet hands to respond. Okay, we have a special energetic wave just for VIP Aaron today. I'm almost done with the show. We're going to get to manifesting in about 2 minutes, energetic wave in about 4 minutes. Maybe, or so. He says, you need to understand, it's very important that, He says the law of polarity tells us that everything has its opposite. He says you can think negative or you can think positive, but you cannot think both at the same time. You can live in fear or you can live in faith, but you cannot live in both at the same time. You've got to choose one. So you've got to retrain your mind to find and see good in everything. Good in everything. And he says this must be so. He says this must be so. The law of gender says there's masculine and feminine in everything. There's good and bad in everything. So if you can train your brain to the good in everything, by the way, you guys, I must have been seeing like the awful, really stupid crap in my video because my coach is just like, that was great. Wow, maybe I need to train my own brain to see how good I just did first time around. Maybe I'm a little bit harsh on myself. Is it the 6th house placements coming in, perfectionist tendencies perhaps, rearing their ugly little heads? Bing, go away. Not today, not today. Right? Not today. Yes, I'm on my way. VIP Deborah says, VIP Kendra says, this is exactly how I changed my entire life. I choose to see the positive in everything. Yep, you've got to. What's the silver lining? Find it. Oh my gosh, I remember I was so sick with the flu, you guys, one time. I was so sick, I couldn't move. I could not move. I was just like crying on my sofa, living by myself in California. And I would like to be able to even call my boyfriend at the time. I was so sick. And I was just crawling to the bathroom, crawling back. Like my body was just depleted. And then when I was done being sick, I was like, dang, I lost 7 pounds. That is awesome. There's a silver lining to everything, right? I was like, oh, I can skip the gym for a whole month. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Thanks for the nudge to do this, Lindsay, for us, Lindsay, whatever, to do us, Lindsay. You're welcome, VIP Catherine. All right, so he says, find the silver lining. He says, understand how your subconscious mind and conscious mind work in relation to your body and your physical world to understand your attitude. Your attitude determines what you get. Your attitude determines what you get. What's your attitude? Check it at the door. How many doors do you have in your house? Check it at every single one. I saw a TikTok and the girls were like, every time they have a girl dinner, like they meet up as girlfriends, they have a dinner, and if one of the girls comes in and kind of like a low vibe, they make the girl turn around and come back in like higher energy because they want to have a really fun time together. I think that's brilliant. Check it at the door, right? So the last thing he talks about is your self-image. He says there are 2 images. This is, oh gosh, Max. The guy's name was Max something. I can't remember fully, you guys. Sorry, I didn't write it down. Do I need a commercial break to read the process that email? No. No, I feel great. I scanned it. He's like, he's like, here are the tags to add. This is your description. He just gave me everything. All I have to do is add it and click submit. So maybe I'll leave that one, you guys. You know what? I'm going to leave it so that the next one I do shows him how much better I can be. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to let myself be cringe. Oh yeah. Putting it out to the world. Cringy Lindsay to cool Lindsay. So everybody can see my beautiful, that reaction will be a great clip for a future vid. Thank you for that, Sarah. I love that. I need to write down the date and time. Okay, so Max somebody, he created psycho-cybernetics. Basically, he understood that there is an exterior and an inner self-image. He was a plastic surgeon, Max somebody, you guys, I don't remember his name, plastic surgeon. He said he would see how people's personalities changed after they had their nose job, after they got the scar removed off their face, after whatever they changed externally. They would become more outgoing, more self-confident, blah, 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 blah. So he says we have an image in our mind of ourselves called a self-image, but many people don't know enough about themselves, so they don't have a very good self-image. They don't have a very good image of themselves inside. I was like, oh, that's powerful. He says anyone can improve their self-image, anyone, by sitting down, letting their body relax, and seeing their life specifically how they want to be living it. How do you look? How do you act? How do you present yourself when you first meet somebody? Do you make direct eye contact? Are you projecting your authentic nature? Are you in your highest vibration dressed how you want to be dressed? Are you interacting and having fun and being joyful and charismatic, or are you shy and tucked away, right? So he says, if you can visualize this, how is the presentation going to go? How is TikTok Live going to go today? Are you going to get a lot of followers from this live? Are you going to pass the test for your YouTube coach? Right? So he says, when you quiet the mind and you really review your life this way and then write it down. Write it down. He says it's very important. Write it down. You take the picture from your mind and put it onto the paper. Right? And you write it in the present tense. I am so happy now that I see myself. I am so happy now that I see myself as a monetized YouTube creator. How freaking awesome is that? I am so happy now that I see myself as an expert in helping people transform their lives by teaching them energy. I am so happy now that I see myself floating on my yacht writing astrology reports in the sunshine. I'm so happy now that I see myself watching my man make me some celery juice and some green smoothie while I type my reports in Barbados. I mean, that sounds nice, right? Which is a very easy image for me because we already do half those things. You already do half those things. Okay? So he says, read it every day and carry it around and keep reading it. He says, it might be fantasy at first or it might even appear as a lie, but if you read it enough, you will believe it. And William James, I don't know who William James is and I didn't do any research on him, but I figure Bob Proctor really likes William James. He must be a decent guy. He says, believing in your belief will create the fact. Believing in your belief will create the fact and your personality will change. You ever know the people that are like, this person believes their own lies? It sounds negative. But then like you've got the girly pops that are like, Delulu is the Salulu. Sounds kind of cutesy and positive, right? Believing in your belief will create the fact. VIP Brenda says, self-images is something I've always struggled with. I needed to hear this, so I'm glad you're here. Oh my gosh, you guys. The clock, Beck says, yes, the clock, I know. It's a little bit off because it stopped ticking yesterday and then we had to like reset it, so it's a little bit off. Oh my gosh, you guys. Cosmic Collective members, by the way, I'm still buzzing from last night's conversation. I had a great time with you guys last night. I think it was a really good call. Probably one of the most productive ones we've had in quite some time. The shifts are quite obvious for many of you. How do you guys feel after yesterday? I had such a good time. I was giggling. My man is like, you're so happy. What happened? I was like, my girls are just thriving. They're all doing the damn thing in the way that's meant for them. And that's so cool. Tony says, let us know when you post it so we can go watch. He's already like, what's the next topic you want to cover? And I'm like, well, we did Aries and there's 11 more zodiac signs, so I guess the rest of them, like, shit, I've got work to do. VIP Jewel says, yep, I had an eye muscle surgery to correct my lazy eye when I was 30. I had it my whole life. I became so empowered after that. Yep, exactly. So it helped, your external image helped you with your self-image. And it can go the opposite way too, right? VIP Deborah says, I was giggling too, I'm so happy for everyone. VIP Jewel says, yeah, I am too. VIP Deborah says, you're thriving as well. We are all thriving, right? I want to see it too, VIP Brenda says. Well, it's an Aries horoscope video for April. So I don't know if he's going to even have me do the rest of the signs. I think this was like the first, like, just do how he wants me to do it. So maybe we'll switch up the topic and maybe I'll do the rest of the signs for next month. I don't know. I'll have to talk to him about it. Zoiks. VIP Aaron says, thriving and glad to offer you all some end of session humor, a glimpse into my brain. I know, the great couch debate. The great couch debate. The energetic wave, we're getting on it right now. He says, last thoughts. He says, your thoughts control your feelings control your actions, and you control your thoughts. I will put that in the Discord for you guys because I know you'll want to hear it again. Your thoughts control your feelings, and your feelings control your actions, and you can control your thoughts. Full circle. You need a goal, you need the right attitude, you need good self-image. He says he goes, isn't it interesting how there's always a depression for some people and there's always good times for others? He says he was programmed to believe that the Great Depression was one of the worst times for every single person in society. Every single person. He goes, but do you know, many people close their businesses and many people open them at the same time during the Great Depression? And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I know that. That's why I learned how to trade options, because I know that you can make a shit ton of money when the market is crashing. Not by buying stocks, but by trading options you can. By trading options you can. So that's why it's really important to like not let the external reality dictate your feelings, your thoughts, your energy. Because when everybody is freaking about right now, especially with all the tariff crap going on, people are like, oh, my stocks. And I'm thinking, I know how to create a bear put spread and I know that I can make some money right now. Well, it's because I have some knowledge that most people don't. Because I decided to go get it. Because I didn't want the stock market to dictate my portfolio. I wanted me to be able to do my best to always make money with my money. You see? So remember that. There's always a depression for some people. Some people are always walking under the dark cloud, and there's always good times for others. I'm going to be the one that's a good time. It's probably going to trigger you when you're not feeling well. Sorry. I've chosen that reality. I don't want to live a shitty life. I want to live a happy life. He says, the next time you read something or you hear something, especially if you're somebody that watches the news, you have to, because you have, like my partner, he kind of has to. He needs to know what's going on from a world economic perspective. If you're a news watcher, if you're somebody on TikTok and you're on this strange side of TikTok that's a little bit negative or whatever, he says, next time you read or you hear something, ask yourself, do I want to get emotionally involved in this idea? Do I want to get emotionally involved in this idea? Does this idea help me get where I want to go? If no, reject the idea. I can watch the news all day. I can watch it all day and I can just be like, I don't care, right? I'm unbothered by that. My emotions do not get connected. I've trained myself that way because I can see the bigger picture energetically. I know how to use my energy. So I don't let the external reality dictate my world. Okay, VIP Jules. So you know what's going on, but the next step would be, you can know what's going on, but you don't need to emotionally invest, right? So you could say, okay, well, Trump raised the tariffs, and I know this only because my partner works in finance. Trump raised the tariffs, and then China tried to revolt, and then Trump said, nope, we're gonna go back, and then he talked about lowering them, and it's like, it's been an emotional roller coaster for my partner, who has emotionally involved himself because this is part of his line of work. But for me, I'm like, okay, then what happened? To me, it's like a nice, fun soap opera. I'm like, what happened next? Like, it's a drama playing out. It's entertainment for me. So where he's very emotionally invested, I'm like, okay, wow, then what? Geez, that's crazy. I'm like, how are you feeling? Have you stayed grounded? You didn't make any rash decisions yesterday, did you? He's like, no. I'm like, how's your partner? How, like, his team? How are they feeling? They're pretty grounded. I said, okay, stay grounded, stay cool. Stay cool. Stay cool. And if shit's hitting the fan, remind yourself to stay cool. I always tell like, stay cool. Sometimes like I'll get a little riled up and my partner looks at me, he's like, babe, stay cool. And I'm like, you stay cool. And then we're giggling about it. VIP Aaron says, thriving and glad to, okay, I read that. VIP Jewel says, did I work hard to draw the lines? VIP Aaron says, it's been a struggle, but I finally have my emotions in check and have found a balance to deal with the news that is. Go on, my friend. VIP Deborah says, I'm very proud of myself because I've been watching all my investments go down and I'm okay with that. And my Bitcoin as well. Yeah, well, it's a cycle. It's going to go back up. It's going to go back up, right? Eventually. Now, if you wanted to invest in your knowledge, and by the way, I'm not the one, I'm not going to teach it to you, and it takes certain requirements and credentials to teach it anyway. But if you were somebody who said, okay, I would like a little bit more control over when the stock market is going down, when we go into recession, when we go into those bear markets, which means it's going down, I want more control over that. So now I'm going to learn how I can have a little bit more hedging, a little bit of leverage in those moments, because a lot of people make a lot of money in a down market. How do they do it? Well, they trade options. That's something you could go learn. I did. I took a course. It cost me a pretty penny. I made my money back. Okay? So think about that. My uncle all my life. Take a chill pill, man. Yeah. Stay cool. That's mine. I always say stay cool. All right, let's get on. Let's do our manifesting. And then we have a special energetic wave just for VIP Aaron in the house. And I would like your feedback, VIP Aaron, when you have time. No rush. This is for you, though, my friend. You guys are gonna giggle. All the Cosmic Collective members probably already know what's about to happen. But you know, thanks for the feedback, you guys. Let's get our hand chakras going. I'm like, what are we doing? We're oh my gosh, I just have like the biggest brain fart. First we're manifesting. Oh, manifesting. I'm like, what are we doing? Wow, you guys. What the heck? Lindsay, get it together, girl. Stay cool. I'm so excited my coach gave me an A, you guys. Holy cow. I'm going to keep it cringe so you guys can see what I mean. And then the next video I create is going to be way better and you're going to be able to see what I mean. And I'm doing this for you because the ego inside of me wants to take it all apart. But the teacher inside of me says, you know what, Lindsay, this is how you show people that growth is possible. So I will be the cringe example for you. I am so excited. Get out your journals, you guys. Get out your journals. Let's go. Step 1, Dr. James Doty says, step 1, write out your desires. Step 2, read it silently. Step 3, read it out loud. Step 1, put in your 5 senses. I ask you that because I ask you of that because I ask of that of you. Oh my gosh, you guys, I don't even know. Mercury's direct, supposedly. I'm asking you to do that because I am so excited, because it will help you visualize in step 4. I'm also kind of warm. It's really warming up in South Carolina, and this robe is very cozy. So, whew, let's go. I vividly see. What do you see? I vividly see 1,000 or more subscribers. Ooh, it's becoming realer and realer, you guys. Interacting with me, live on YouTube, with me and each other, I guess, of course. So I'm already seeing. What do you see? What's your vision? Live on YouTube. And I hear, now I'm hearing, I hear Anne, she's my moderation manager, telling me how great we are doing. And I feel, now I'm feeling, what do you feel? And I feel so excited and fulfilled that so many people are healing and living their best and manifesting and living, I guess, and manifesting and living, how about all of it, their best lives. That's a lot of words. All right, step 1, write it out. Step 2, read it silently. Step 3, read it out loud. Do that for yourself now. I'll be quiet. The interesting part about learning something new is you end up giving yourself more work, you know? Initially it's more work, and then eventually it becomes quite simple and kind of habit. Step 3 is read it out loud. Step 4 is to visualize. He says put your hands in prayer. I say let's get our chakras going and let's act out a scene. When you're acting out the scene, you are moving your body if you need to. You are in it. You are the leading star of the show. You're not watching a movie of your life. You're acting it out, okay? So when I act out the scene, I'm going to hold the phone. I'm talking to Anne. She's telling me all about our show. She's part of my team, okay? So put your hands, get your hand chakras going. Put your hands on your heart. Close your eyes. Uncross your legs. When we breathe into the heart chakra, we're going to breathe in through our nose and we're going to exhale through our nose. But we're going to pull the energy and try to feel the energy moving into the heart space and out of the heart space. If you want to really amp up this practice, you can choose white, kind of golden light energy to fill your body and aura with on each breath. On the exhale, you let little dust bunnies trickle out. Or you could choose pink or green. Those are the colors for the heart chakra and that resonate with the heart chakra energy. Okay, so choose a color, keep the color consistent all the way around. And let's breathe together. Breathing in through the nose, belly nice and full, into the front of the heart chakra. Exhaling the energy through the front of the heart chakra. Breathing in. Letting it go. Remember letting any little dust bunnies go. Bringing your awareness and your attention to kind of your, I would say like between the 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock on the clock, into your right armpit, breathing into the front of your right armpit, letting the energy out, breathing into it. If you're filling up your body, make your aura so big it touches the central sun with that color, and on the exhale, you're letting the dust bunnies out. Breathing into your right side now, into your heart, letting it go. Breathing in. Letting it go. Breathing into kind of under the back of the right shoulder blade. Breathing in. Letting it go. In and out. Breathing into the back of the heart chakra between the shoulder blades. Letting it go. Breathing in. Letting it go. To the back of the left shoulder blade. In and out. In and out. To the left side, kind of the 9 o'clock on the clock, in and out. One more time. Into the left armpit now. Breathing the energy in, letting it go. Breathing into the front of the heart chakra, big, 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 opening this ball of energy. You're expanding your heart chakra out. It's a ball, it's a wheel. It's so big. On the inhale, you're touching the central sun. On the exhale, you're bringing that energy back into this space, kind of making the ball smaller into your heart space. Breathing in, expanding this ball of white light energy, pink or green light energy, out, 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 big, big, big. On the exhale, you're bringing this high vibrational source energy back into your heart space. And now act out the scene. What are you doing? I'm on the phone with Anne. Make it quick. You can do it. Trust in yourself. And that's it. That's all you have to do. That is all you have to do. Let's get on the new energetic wave. I'm going to call this one third time's a charm. This is an energetic wave nobody has experienced before, combining all the best elements of all the energetic waves that have ever been in existence. Like, I just feel like I was like an announcer, like one of the ringmaster at the circus. Let's go, you guys. Breathing in, belly's nice and full. This is for you, VIP, and letting it go. Breathing in through the nose. Letting it go. One more deep breath in. Letting it go. Placing one hand on your solar plexus, one hand on your heart space. Repeating these words out loud if you can and only silently if you must. The words you speak have serious power, so say them with conviction from your solar plexus chakra and love and intention from your heart space. Get ready. I am strong. And I can do this. Smiling big and showing me your teepers. I freaking did it. Why? Because I knew I could do it. I am strong. And I created this reality. Smiling big and showing me your teepers. And why did I create it? Because I am worthy and deserving of it. And you take this breath in and you breathe this idea, this thought, this feeling up the chakra system, giving it to God, Source, Universe, Creator, out of the crown chakra, the top of the head, expand it out. The picture is big, the feeling is big. You know you can do it. And on the exhale, you hold the vision, you hold the feeling, you bring it down, 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 all the way down the chakra system to the root where you cement it in a clockwise fashion. One more time, I'm doing it with you. And on the exhale, bringing it down, letting it sink. You're excited. You know you can do it. Trust yourself. Let yourself be cringy quickly. Cementing it into the root. One more time. I am strong. And I created this. Smiling big and showing me your teepers. Why did I do it? Because I am worthy and deserving of it. You are on the latest and greatest energetic wave, my friends. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. VIP Erin, how do you feel? I hope that that has put you marching forward to your day and has also reminded you that you are in charge of your reality. Yes! Okay, VIP Deborah says yes. VIP Jules is here with me. Cosmic Collective members, thank you guys for such a great conversation last night. I feel so good. I hope you guys are feeling it too. Biggest smile ever, but also tears through that smile. Well, oh, that's so amazing. All right, you guys, so great. If you are interested in hanging out with me, join the Cosmic Collective. Manifesting Club members, we are manifesting on Friday. If you want to join the Manifesting Club, go to lindsaywithlove.com. Click number 3, join it. It's $11 a month. We're manifesting on Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time under the energy of the full moon in Libra on the 12th. If you want an astrology report from me, go to lindsaywithlove.com and get one. I write 45 plus pages all about you. If you want to hang out with me and get into my vortex of transformational, high vibrational energy, join the Cosmic Collective. Have a great day, you guys. This was so awesome. Third time really is a charm, VIP. Tony says, yes, it is. All right, you guys. My coach says my video will post tomorrow at 11 a.m. So for those of you that want to watch me be a little cringy, that's when it will be live. It's for the Aries zodiac for April. I'm going to have to talk to him about all the rest of the signs. I got things to do, so I'm gonna go. Have a great day. I'll see most of you on Discord in a little bit. All right, guys, goodbye. Goodbye to my YouTubers. Have an amazing day.